Hey, brothers and sisters, I've noticed something. Not lately, but something since I was a kid. We have started to emulate other cultures when it come down to appearance or judging people based on appearance. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're gonna like what you're gonna like, but when you start looking for characteristics that you see in other ethnicities or other groups that are glamorized, you have a form of self hatred, whether you believe it or not. There are some black men that want a woman with full lips, but they don't want a woman with full lips to be black. There are some black women who want a man with a smaller nose, but don't want it to be on a black man. They want it to be on a white man. There are white women who want a man with a large penis, but don't want it to be on a black man. You see where I'm going with this? Racism has confused not only whites, but blacks and everybody in between about who we are and what we like. I was sitting here thinking about when I watch music videos or movies or TV shows, or I scan flicks or pick up a magazine, and what stands out to me. And I can't sit here and be a hypocrite and say if I don't see a white woman that has characteristics similar to a black woman, that I don't take a little bit more notice. I'll be lying. Now, granted, I've had my experiences with them. I've grew up around them. I've had interactions with them on an intimate level. But because in our subconscious we've been conditioned that if you're a black person and anybody who's white or close to being identified as white, that somehow they're better. I really thought about it. I said, I'm a hypocrite as well if I found myself looking in that direction. But see, the difference is I realized I was doing it. And I take steps and make sure I don't sit here and do that. There's some beautiful, beautiful sisters out here. Dark skin, in between, light skin. But by society standards, people say that you should go for something that's light and bright, close to white. That's dangerous. This is why so many of our dark-skinned sisters have these inferiority complexes. I'm not saying all do, but enough do. This is why some, when you see these videos and they critique black men, it's not that it's their attitudes, it's their personalities and their mindset. And the same can be said for black women when they look at black men a certain way. And whites do the same thing. There are white women who want a dark-skinned black man because of the contrast. They want a super muscular black man. If they can't get the super muscular black man, they go for the brother who's super thin or even overweight because they know that he's not going to run away from her. White guys, they figure they want a woman of color, but they don't want to be caught because they've been conditioned to say, you can't be with a black woman. So what do? They go for the one that's closest to us. Or ones who are black, whose skin is light. This is why Jennifer Lopez has been worshipped. This is why Shakira has been worshipped. This is why that tennis star that Julio Iglesias Jr. been messed with for years. She has characteristics that you will find: round nose. If you look at Russian women, if you look at their skin tone may be different in some cases, but what characteristics do they usually have? Full lips and round nose. Where do they get that from? But yet people are mean-spirited. Here it is, I laugh when I see white women getting plastic surgery or getting suntans to try to emulate black women, but they don't come out and say they're trying to look like black women. They try to emulate the woman of color who is black, but don't say she's black. I mean, really think about it. Really think about it. Look how they talk about Beyonce. But Beyonce wasn't fine till she started taking her clothes off. She wasn't fine till she started changing her skin color, putting on the wigs, dyeing her hair. Halle Berry wasn't fine until they found out that she had a white mama and she started taking her clothes off. Gabrielle Union, Sanaa Lathan, and so many other sisters. What's her name? Megan Good. Fine sisters, but you don't hear him talk about them the same way. Here it is, there are white guys out here, nice looking dudes, and sisters pretend like they don't look good. I'm like, y'all quit lying. Y'all know damn well if George Clooney or Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt came at y'all give it up in the heartbeat. Because racism got so twisted, we're not being honest. Like majority of white people will have sex or probably will want to have children with black people, but guess what? Way society's been programmed, or the rules have been set up, written or not. That's a sin. That's a no-no. But yet we get mean spirit. I mean, here it is. How many times have you heard people out in public talk about black men and black women bodies and looks, but then turn around and emulate it? I remember when I was in the Army, and I won't put this guy. I should put him on blast. Nah, I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna say his name. But I just put it like this. One day, he came up to the barracks, and everybody know most men in the military and women, we got access to some type of pornographic material. Whether it be a Playboy, a Hustler, or a skin flick. And so he came over and he said, such and such, hey man, you got some skin flicks, or you got some porn? So I said, yeah, but I don't usually let people use them because they never bring them back. Well, okay, man. And then he said, well, let me just see. You sure got a lot of black skin flicks. And I was like, I'm a black man, my first attraction is to a black woman. Oh man, why do black women, and I'm me to get graphic, why they nipples dark? I'm like, because we're dark skinned people. Oh, that looks ugly. I'm like, you do know you talking to a black man, right? Well, I didn't mean any harm, but I said, you did mean harm. But I've seen you try to holler at black female soldiers. No, I don't. I'm like, okay, whatever. So maybe about a week or so ago, one of our other battle buddies tried to fix him up on a blind date. And at that time it was his girlfriend. I don't know if they still married or not, right? So what happened was, when he found out she was black, dude was giddy as hell. And I'm like, I thought you didn't like black women. I thought you said you was turned off by, oh, she's cute. And it like she got hit with a bag of fuck me ups. Okay? And I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh wow. And I find it funny because this guy up and down, he didn't like black women, but he realized that he was a hypocrite. And I find it funny. how they would say they would never fuck with us, but they would do it in a heartbeat. I've seen white women do the same thing. I've seen black men and black women do the same thing. That's why I say I should never say never. But based off of my experience, I don't see myself getting with a white woman ever again, and don't have that desire to. But I laugh when I see people emulating other characteristics of people. I mean, don't you find it funny when you hear a white woman or see her trying to perform and she's trying to sing and trying to out-sing a black one? I mean, with the hand gestures, the oohs and the ahs and all the other stuff. I'm like, just fucking sing. When I see white guys running around trying to sing like black guys, dancing and jumping around, I find it hilarious. But at the same time, deeply insulting, because you criticize us for these things, but yet you emulate it. But then I see brothers and sisters starting to do it. Contact lenses, the straightening of the hair, the wigs, the bleaching of the skin, the changing the way we dress, our voice, accepting things that have gone against our nature, our natural abilities, or our culture. So it just, I don't know. Why do people dance around these things? They have to be mean-spirited in the process. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. If you like the vid, vote up. If you don't, vote down. Let me know what you think.